What's up, guys, and welcome back to a new video and a new episode of the podcast. I'm here again with Dylan, and today we're going to talk about, as you can see in the title, the Bucks, the Packers news, and then the Eagles and the Jets and their situations about Carson Wentz and Sam Darnold. But before we get into the content, make sure to like this video, comment, subscribe for more. All right, let's get into it. So, the Milwaukee Bucks had a good week, I would say, as they kicked off the week. I guess we could talk about we can talk about the 50-point blowout in Miami, where they had 29 3-point shots made. They went
NBA record.
they went 29 of 51. That was a great game by everybody. Everybody except for everybody except for Giannis made a 3 that game. And even when Giannis had a crappy game, he shot 3 of 9 from the field, 9 points in 24 minutes, 6 rebounds, 6 assists, 3 steals. But he didn't have a dominating performance, and we still blew the Heat out by 48 points. Granted, no Jimmy Butler, but still, that's pretty impressive.
And then the next day,
God, that gave me a migraine.
we did great. Start off.
we were rolling. We had a 91-88 lead heading into the fourth quarter, and I'm like, okay, can we please pull ahead? Then we go full retard mode, and we don't know what's rebounding. Can't make layups, wide open layups. We can't dunk the ball. We can't shoot. And we get outscored 31-17 in the fourth and lose 119-108. And this was such a winnable game, too. Obviously, in a back-to-back, you expect to only win one. But when the second game is a winnable game and you're leading going into the fourth quarter and you blew it like that, that's when you know that's not acceptable.
The only guy that did really good was Giannis. He redeemed himself from the night before, and then everyone else decided to play like crap for the most part.
Yeah.
Giannis had like a 30-point triple-double.
Except for Pat Connaughton. He had a good game. He had 12 points, 3 rebounds, a steal, shot 4 of 6 from the field and 3, which is pretty good. I know we give him crap, but if he can make his threes, I don't mind him being in the rotation.
He has to do it consistently though, and that's been the problem.
Yeah, I mean,
the 2 games where he gets hot. Like, for example, last year's playoffs against Orlando, he gets smoking hot, and then all of a sudden against Miami, he's just ice cold.
Yeah.
Can't buy a bucket at all, and his defense was horrible.
Yeah. Middleton shot 3 of 15, 0 of 4 from 3 that game. Jrue Holiday went 4 of 15 from the field. Dante 5 of 14. Yeah. It wasn't a good game. In the fourth quarter, we just went full dumb mode. Couldn't make a shot. Couldn't rebound for shit. Couldn't make wide open layups. Middleton missed a dunk, which really pissed me off. And in the result, they just gave me a massive migraine and pissed me off the rest of the night.
Just like the Knicks game.
Yeah, we already went over that.
I watched that because the Packers were annihilating the Titans, so I didn't really think about that as much.
Yeah. Then we get into Friday's game where we blew out the Bulls 126-96 in Milwaukee. Giannis had 29 points in 27 minutes. He also had 12 rebounds, 8 assists, 2 steals, 2 blocks. Bryn Forbes, he looked really nice. 18 points, 6 of 9 from the field, 4 of 6 from downtown. Portis, he made 2 threes. Connaughton, he made 3 threes. He was 3 of 3. Yeah. Everybody except for... Okay, DJ Augustine, he didn't look great. He was 0 of 4 from the field and 3. The night before, the game before that, in the Miami game, the second one, he shot 1 of 5 from the field. Then the Knicks game, he shot 0 of 6 from the field. I wonder what's going on with him. He's not looked good.
And the same DJ Augustine I remember watching when he was in Orlando. He was a pretty good role player. Here in Milwaukee, hasn't offensively anyway. He hasn't been the best shooter and stuff. Hopefully, he'll figure it out.
Yeah, there's only been 2 games where he was good, and that was the Golden State blowout where he was 4 of 6 from the field, 3 of 3 from downtown, and then the first Miami game, the blowout game, he had 10 points, 3 of 5 from the field, 2 of 4 from downtown. And then he just hasn't been consistent of being efficient, but I think he'll get it.
Yeah, Joel wasn't that good either when he first came, and then he became a key playoff player that later that year. Then
yeah. So yeah, that wraps up the Bucks week. Tomorrow or tonight or whatever, they battle the Pistons. Wednesday they face the Pistons, and then Friday the Jazz, and then Saturday the Cavs. So 4 more games of this homestand, and then we face the Magic. But I think we should take the 2 in Pistons. I expect to lose to either the Jazz or the Cavs in a back-to-back. Maybe the Jazz, but also maybe the Cavs. I don't know. We'll see. But I think we could beat both teams. I think we can go 4-0 in this homestand, but I think we'll lose one. But I hope we don't lose to the Pistons. Please, God, don't lose to the Pistons. But yeah, now the Green Bay Packers. So before the game on Sunday, David Bakhtiari had a torn ACL, and that sucks because now he's going to be out for the rest of the playoffs, and now he's probably going to be out for the season next year until probably the playoffs if we make it next year. So that sucks. He's going to be out for a year. But good thing we extended him because now he's locked up long term, so we don't need to worry about that. He'll come back and he'll have like 3 years left on his deal.
Yep.
But it sucks because now our chances of winning it all is slim, but we can still do it. Billy Turner is taking over, and I'm kind of scared about that. We signed him to like a ridiculous 4-year deal the same year we got Zadarius and Preston Smith. And I hated it at the time because he was barely starting in Denver, but when he did start, he was pretty good. But at the same time, he wasn't starting consistently. And I thought that was a pretty dumb signing and a waste of money, even though we weren't even playing him at all either. He was a backup. And we paid him like 4 years, like $28 million or something. You don't pay that money for a backup. That's why I kind of don't like him. Like I don't know. Today he kind of proved that he was a starting caliber guard or tackle or whatever. But there's some flaws I saw of him holding calls, and I'm like, oh my god. But he has been okay, not the greatest. But
numbers wise, he's actually been one of our best guys.
yeah, but I don't know. But we win. We beat the Bears. We take the number 1 seed. So now we get a week to rest everybody. which is good for like a 37-year-old Rodgers. That's pretty good to get a week of rest or 2 weeks of rest. Um,
Win his third MVP now as well.
he better win it, but yeah, it was a good game today. We won 35-16 or something like that. It was really close, but then we pulled away, and I'm like, thank God we did. So yeah.
Because the day before I was definitely saying some crap. And I would have felt like a total retard if they didn't pull away, if they didn't win.
I saw Bears fans talking on Twitter. It was annoying.
Yeah, I remember the day before the game. I remember I sent something to you about like the most disappointing thing about Soldier Field is that we won't get to see all the disappointed Bear fans.
Yeah.
But I guess they still made the playoffs, so I guess it wouldn't have really mattered as much. But they're gonna lose anyway, I'm guessing.
They better. They're 8-8. The only reason
But
they got in is because
Arizona lost.
yeah.
And I remember Murray went out.
Yeah. So I guess we can get into the Damon Sachs Harrison signing. That was a pretty good signing. He didn't play yesterday, obviously, because he's new, but I think it's a good signing. We were talking about it a couple months ago that we should sign him, and we did. Granted, a couple months too late, but it's never too late. When you're going to be going into the playoffs, you definitely need to sign him, and we did. And yeah, I think it was a good pickup. He can help that defensive line. Could be a good rotation piece. He's a solid run run stuffer, which we need. And I like the pickup, and I hope maybe in the off season, depending on how he plays, maybe we could re-sign him to like a cheap 1-year deal and keep him for another year. Or another, I don't know. But I just want to win it all this year, and I think the organization finally realized that and picked him off waivers. And
I'll support that, honestly. Sounds I looked at my phone, I remember, and I'm like, holy crap, we actually got him.
yeah, about time. But I love the signing. 2 years ago, I believe, was like one of his best years. He was getting all these tackles. He was a pretty good run player or a run stuffer.
He was the best one at one point.
Yeah. So if he can go back to that year, that would be amazing. Because we could definitely use it.
He can be even a fraction of what he was, and if the Packers can collect it against the Titans, yeah, we got a Super Bowl. Nobody's beating Green Bay then if they play like that.
But here's a couple things that I had an issue with during the game. When the Bears kept converting on 4th down every time. And they were like 4 for 4 at one point. And they were all 4th and 1s or something like that. I remember one being like 4th and 3 and they get a slant.
Yeah, and then finally we stopped them.
Yeah. But before that, on the QB sneaks, if you take a look at their defensive stance, they only had like 4 guys up at the line. You can't be that dumb. I would have sent more people to the line to push them back, but the Bears had like everybody up on the line, and we only had like 5 people. Who's gonna win? Obviously, the Bears are gonna win that. Are you kidding me? Like, you gotta have everybody at the line. Obviously, that could play action pass and pass it. but like you gotta think run here, you know. That's what kind of annoyed me. But then when they did pass it, they failed miserably, and I couldn't believe that call. I couldn't believe that call at all. I was like, what are they
Yeah,
doing?
one call on the Bears too that they were like 2 yards away from a touchdown, and they go for the field goal. I was like, what?
That too. I was shocked about that too. They've been
I
running
was like,
all
wow,
over us.
4th and 2 or something. I was like, wow, they're definitely going for this. And then here they are and said they kick a field goal. I'm like, oh, okay, I'll take that.
Yeah, that was another lucky break. Going for that field goal instead of the touchdown. I was
And
definitely
Ronaldo,
confused about that. But I'm like, okay, cool, keep doing that. Yeah.
yeah, it was that. And then the, the stuff that really part of what set us back was the Tavon Austin fumble. God.
And then
Our defense
MVS
right
dropping
there
that
too. I
ball.
fumbled it.
Yeah.
And then, well, Marquez Valdes-Scantling had a perfect pass from Rodgers, which would have been a touchdown, and he drops it. And we don't score.
Yeah. That's when I said we're allergic to the end zone in the third quarter.
That game would have been, we would have blew out the Bears without a problem if those two incidents didn't happen.
Yeah.
That MVS drop, if you would have caught that, that would have changed the whole game drastically. The Bears wouldn't even had a chance on. But after that happened, that's when the Bears gained momentum. Thankfully, they screwed off, and we were able to take advantage of it, and we prevailed.
Yeah. I thought it was a good game. We won. We're the number one seed. We can now focus on the playoffs, and yeah. So
Well, we'll talk about the playoffs in a different one,
yeah,
different podcast.
yeah. But I want to talk about the New York Jets. Um, After the 2-14 season, Adam Gase was fired
Yep.
finally after a 9-23 2-year span. Um, so what does this mean now? According to Adam Schefter, the Jets plan on making a big move, whether it's trading Sam Darnold or trading them down from the number 2 pick to a team that needs a quarterback and getting assets in return. So definitely could be very interesting to see what they do there. Personally, I'll give Sam Darnold another year if you can somehow build around him, get a good coach, draft decent players. Man, that actually want to be there.
Yeah. My opinion is I think it depends what you get for Sam Darnold.
I read on an article that the Jets could get a first round pick.
If they got that for him, I'd do that in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
Then I'd say probably, what's his name from? Is it Ohio State? Justin Fields.
Yeah, Justin
I think
Fields.
that's Trevor Lawrence is going number 1 to Jacksonville.
Yeah, if he declares for the NFL draft, which I'm pretty sure he will.
um, which I think if he didn't go declare for the draft, he'd be stupid. Because if you have a
True.
season, if you have a career altering injury in college, then you're fucked.
Yeah. And
That,
you don't get paid for it also.
you're not going to get paid, and there goes your huge contract and your opportunity down the drain.
Yeah. Um
I'll go with the assumption Lawrence goes number 1. If I were the Jets, if you trade Darnold, I'll take the first round pick if that's the case if they were to get. Definitely do that. Probably get more, maybe even as well. I don't know. And then, yeah, take Fields, probably.
Yeah, and invest on the offensive line. Because, good lord, that offensive line was just trying to kill Darnold throughout this whole season.
Yeah.
And they did, because he was out for a little bit. Just like Joe Burrow, the Bengals need to build an offensive line around him.
That's part of rebuilding. Takes time.
Especially when you have a 53-man roster. But I want to move on to the Carson Wentz and Philly situation. That's a little more tricky. So in the second round of the 2020 NFL Draft, the Eagles selected Jalen Hurts, and that kind of brought up the question of what was the reasoning behind that pick. Did they foreshadow and see that Carson Wentz was going to be completely ass? And I don't know. At the time, I was even confused. At the time, I was confused as all hell. And then this year, Carson Wentz plays like shit, and they move on to Hurts. Jesus. So that experiment works, and now there's rumors that in the off season, Wentz is going to ask for a trade because of his tarnished relationship with Doug Peterson and the organization for benching him. But the problem here is that Carson Wentz, after this season, is going to go into his big 4 years, like $120 plus million extension. So if they were to trade him, that's a lot of dead money. That's a lot of dead cap. Now, this is not like the NBA where if you trade a contract, you no longer have to pay that salary. If you trade somebody on like $100+ million contract, you still have to pay off some of that contract and the incentives. And also, that's dead money. You get dead money. This isn't the NBA. NBA, you could just trade a first round pick and got out of that contract, like the Philadelphia 76ers did with Al Horford. They had to sacrifice a first and second round pick just to get out of that contract. Now they don't have to pay it. In the NFL, it's a lot different. If you trade a horrible contract, you have to take dead money and pay incentives. So, yeah, it's going to be a little difficult to get him out of Philly. Unless they get like a good return, like a first or second round pick or something. But a team that I think might trade if Carson does end up requesting a trade is the New England Patriots. Because the Patriots, they finished like 7-9. They're not going to be in a position to draft a quarterback, Justin Fields or Trevor Lawrence. I don't know if there's any other good top prospects. I think there are. I don't know.
I heard Zach Wilson, I think his name is. I don't know college football much, but
yeah, I heard about that name too. But I don't know much about him. But the Patriots, they might be in a position to say, hey, let's trade a couple picks and let's maybe try to revive Carson Wentz's career. They take on that contract, and it's I don't know. You can also renegotiate deals because last year the Bears, they traded a 4th-round pick to get Nick Foles, who was on like a 4-year, $80 million something deal or whatever, and they were able to renegotiate down to like a 4 years, 30 something million. So, yeah. Hopefully. So yeah, you can renegotiate deals too. So if like Wentz sucks or whatever, they could renegotiate to. I don't know. It's happened in the past. But like I wouldn't. I could see the Patriots doing it as they don't have a current quarterback of the future. Cam Newton's out. And also maybe. Let's see.
My team I was gonna choose was the Colts.
That
Philip Rivers is old. Also, Carson Wentz's old coach is there. He has a good relationship there. It seems like a perfect fit.
that too, I guess. Yeah, I forgot that the Colts that they're gonna need a new quarterback.
I feel like Wentz could revive his career there. I think the Colts are a team that should go for him if they do try to trade for someone.
Yeah,
I think that might be his best opportunity there.
or another team,
Colts
maybe.
got great defense, too.
Yeah, maybe the let's see, maybe the no Brady's gonna still play next year probably. Because I was gonna say if Brady ends up retiring, then I think maybe the Buccaneers would go after him. But I don't know. If Brady was gonna retire after this year, then yeah, then I'd probably say yeah, maybe they'll go after him. But I don't know.
I think he'll probably play for a little bit still yet.
Yeah, he signed like a 2-year, $50 million contract. So I guess he's gonna play one more year somehow at like the age of 48, something like that. Your body has your body must be in like a very good shape if you could play until like you're 60. I wouldn't I wouldn't be shocked. I wouldn't be shocked if he played until he's 60. Honestly, he can't walk away. He can't walk. People were saying he should have walked away last year when he threw that pick six in the wild card game against Tennessee.
I actually thought Tom Brady was going to retire after he won that sixth Super Bowl, but obviously that wasn't the case.
Yeah, he wants number 7, and he's gonna try to go after it this year. I mean, he's got a good shot at it. Buccaneers actually have a halfway decent team. They're 11-5. They're the 5th seed because they didn't win the division. They're gonna get a first round bye basically in the Washington football team. I'll laugh if the football team just wins.
um,
If the football team just beats the Buccaneers, I'll just laugh my ass off. Oh
yeah,
man.
but one of them guys like him, hate him. He's one of the greatest ever. As much as I hate him or not, dude's a super talented quarterback. Even if he's not what he used to be, but in his prime, he was incredible.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think
Much as
he's
I
one
hate
of the best.
the dude's probably one of the best ever. I should say he is one of the best ever. I should say. You can even argue the best.
Yeah, I was gonna say if not the best. Um,
There's a good argument for it though.
yeah,
6 Super Bowls, 3 MVPs.
yeah,
The
but
Buccaneers Super Bowl, I think I'll probably definitely make them the best.
yeah, then they'll shut up all those comments about him being a system quarterback.
Well, every quarterback's a system player though. Everyone's got their own system that makes it work.
Yeah, but I'm talking, or people were talking about that he can only win with Bill Belichick.
They both. It's a two-way street to me. Tom Brady is the system, but Bill Belichick was the guy that helped make it, like Matt LaFleur with Aaron Rodgers. Rodgers is the guy, but LaFleur's the reason why he brings out the best.
Yeah,
He
I
sets
agree with
up the
that.
guy and does all that.
Yeah, but I think that'll be it. Next time we'll be doing the playoff predictions. Don't know when we'll get that out before Saturday, obviously. But
We'll figure that out probably within the next few days.
yeah, make sure to like this video, leave a comment, subscribe for more content, and peace out, my friends.
Bye.